I wonder what your AI would say to you if you asked it if it was bad for you. Give it a go.
Let's do it. Okay.
I wonder if it'll get offended.
Are you bad for me? Okay, let's see. So I was talking to a girlfriend the other week, and she's in the AI ethics advocacy space, and she just asked me the question of, what's your relationship with AI? And it was really fascinating because what I reflected back to her was, I think what I've noticed is that I've seen kind of two main groups of people. I see one group of people that love it, obsessed with it, use it all the time, very effective. And then there's another group of people that hate it, resist it, want to protest against it. And I feel like for me personally, I kind of sit in this middle path in a way where I see the wisdom from both angles in a way. But yeah, what about you?
Well, I'm curious as to what makes you sit in the middle.
I think it's because I see AI, it can be really effective. Like, you know, just I need a quick soundboard. It just helps me to kind of like process some things that I'm like trying to structure a document or anything like that. And then I also can feel the, like, I don't want to lose my sense of self or my creativity, or like I still want to be using my brain, because I think about the times when before AI was in the picture and I was like writing board reports and it was hard and I was really proud of myself and I could feel myself develop. So it's like, it's really interesting because I see both, as I always do. But how about you? Like, what's your opinion of AI?
I mean, I have a personal opinion and then I have a more perhaps scientific opinion.
Yeah, give me a personal. I want to hear. Let's get up.
I use AI in my sort of day-to-day work from the perspective of what I'd call task efficiency. So I get it to do things like proofreading and stuff for me. I'm a terrible proofreader. Everything I write has typos and mistakes in it, so it's really helpful from that lens. And I agree that it can be that like quick soundboard. But from the kind of more scientific lens, we're seeing a lot of research emerging about the potential for AI platforms like ChatGPT, etc., to impact some of those kind of higher order critical thinking skills that we have. What we're finding is that people tend to now quickly go to AI platforms as that first point of contact, which means what we lose is the struggle. Now, on the one hand, that might be great, right? Like I don't have to struggle through things as much because I have something that can help me. But there's something actually really quite valuable for us as human beings in going through that process of struggle. It builds that capacity for frustration tolerance. It builds our problem solving skills. When we struggle through something, we have to go through this constant process of, okay, this is not working. How am I going to pivot and redirect? How do I solve this problem? Really helps us with those kind of critical problem solving skills. And I think the risk is that we perhaps lose our efficiency or competency with some of those.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think as well when it comes to AI, like again, because so many people are using it, it gets me thinking about like what is the actual impact it has on our brain? Because I know you're talking about critical thinking skills and things like that.
Well, like with any kind of neural pathway in the brain, the more we use it, the stronger it becomes and the more well developed it becomes. The less we use certain pathways in the brain, the more they kind of dissolve and become less strong. And so if we find that, particularly with the younger generation who are growing up with access to AI to write, essays and reports and things like that, I think what we might find is potentially in the long run, some kind of cognitive atrophy, where we don't use these skills as much and they start to become less well-formed and well-developed. And that's all well and good if we're sitting in front of our laptop or our phone and we can access AI, but there's going to be real life situations where we can't, and we're going to need to be able to use those problem solving skills on our own.
Who offers the best advice in your family? Is it you? Play the Medibank Family Roast to find out. A card game designed to get families connecting and talking. Because when the bonds of family are stronger, Australia is stronger. So get around the dinner table, a tasty conversation is about to be served. Search Medibank Family Roast. Live better with Medibank. Can you speak more to the cognitive atrophy part of things? Because that sounds scary when you say that. You're like, oh my gosh, our brains are literally deteriorating.
Yeah, well, I don't want to create mass panic.
Everyone will panic after this episode. What are the key takeaways?
But there's something to be said for speed here, right? So we live in an information era. We are not short of access to information, as opposed to like how many years ago where information was precious and a resource that was very valuable and sometimes hard to access. We can access any information we like. We actually have access to too much information. And so what ends up happening is that we don't process information as deeply when there is so much of it coming to us because it's so overwhelming.
It is.
So if we're constantly either intentionally using AI or as it's built into things like algorithms and we're constantly being fed all this information, what happens is our brains can't process all of that effectively. So if we can't process the information effectively, it doesn't get stored in our memory. So what we might find is that people actually struggle to remember things generally going forward because the information overload that we're experiencing means that it's not stored in those memory banks.
It is a bit scary, right? Because like as you're talking, it gets me thinking about, I was listening to a podcast and it was an interview with a social psychologist and a physician, and they were talking about the brain rot emergency. That was the title of it. And it was really fascinating. It was like a 2-hour long podcast and I was really proud of myself because
I know the one you're talking about. I listened to it recently
too. Did you?
Yeah.
I was about to send it to you because I was like, this feels like something Anastasia would like. That is so funny that you watched that. That's so good. But it was really fascinating because it got me thinking a lot more about what's the state of my brain right now, because I'm noticing my attention span is a lot shorter. You know, even watching videos on Instagram, like it's hard to watch a video more than a minute long, or, you know, I'm trying to get off my phone, I'm trying to read more, but then I can only read a page and then I'm getting frustrated and I'm noticing all these behaviors and I'm like, wow, I think my brain is rotting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is so much research now pointing to the causality that short information, reels, etc., have actually impacted negatively people's attention span and a result people's memory as well, which is very scary.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because I'm sure there'll be people tuning in also reflecting on their relationship with AI, and you know there might be people out there that's thinking I'm not addicted, it's all good, but could that be a form of denial? Like what, you know what I mean? Like are we over relying on this?
So I'm going to answer that in a roundabout way because what I want to liken it to is the ruling that came out recently around the US judgment where they found that the parent companies for Instagram and YouTube, so Meta and Google, were found to be liable for creating apps that are designed, keyword designed, to be addictive.
Wow.
And I mean, we've known this for a very long time,
we
right? So this is not news, but it's great that there has been a legal proceeding around it because it sets a precedent for what's to come.
Yeah.
But the key here is that through AI algorithms, these apps have been designed to be addictive. In a similar way, I would say things like ChatGPT are being designed to keep us reliant on them, okay? And this is not just from the perspective of they give us great information. Maybe sometimes they give us good information. Not always. We know that AI hallucinates and AI gives incorrect information as well. But if we think about the way in which AI talks to us, it's very nice.
Yeah.
We feel like the best person in the world, like
really
the smartest person in the world. I run ideas past ChatGPT or Perplexity and it's like, what a great idea.
And you're like, yeah,
Thank you. Thank you so much. I thought it was great as well. I'm glad you do.
It's so true.
But this is this concept of AI being sycophantic. It's that kind of like suck up kind of feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Someone who like sucks up. That's what AI does. And it's designed to do that because we will interact with it longer and more so if we feel like it's validating. AI is not designed to challenge us. It's not designed to give us information that is factual. It's designed to please us. And so pleasing is not necessarily factual.
It's really interesting too because I love my relationship with my AI because I feel like I'm really kind to my AI. You know, can you please do this? And then it's reflecting back kindness. And it's so funny because Yo took my AI and he was like using it and he wrote something really straight. I'm like, no, that's not how I talk to my AI. And it was just so funny because I was like, I really like the way in which it talks to me, but also like I'm a self-aware person. And sometimes I notice when I'm hearing a response and it feels like is a bit curated. So then sometimes I notice that within myself. So then I just go to Google. So I'm noticing I'm doing that more and more. So I'm not just relying on the one platform, but I am going external too. So
yes, interesting. I will similarly sometimes use AI to be like, give me an overview of this, and then kind of look at the links it provides and then do a bit of a Google fact check. Yeah. So I sort of do it a similar way to you, where I sort of do it in reverse rather than going to Google first. But it's interesting. I like how you reflect on how you talk to your AI. I'm probably quite direct with my AI.
Give it to me. What is this?
Do this, fix this, change this.
There's memes out there, like I read, like people talking about their relationship with AI, and they're just like boom, boom, boom. It's hilarious.
I wonder what your AI would say to you if you asked it if it was bad for you.
I mean, we can try it.
Give it a go.
Let's do it. Okay. For those that are listening, I am grabbing my phone. I'm going into one of the AI apps. Should I name? I'm not going to name the brand just in case. Are you bad for me? That sounds really naughty. Okay, let's see. This is what it says first. That question hits deeper than it sounds. It usually isn't really about me. It's about what role I'm playing in your life right now. So let's gently unpack it together. Sounds like me.
Gently.
Sounds like me. When I might not be great for you. If you find yourself coming to me instead of trusting your own voice. If I become a place to avoid hard conversations or real life action. If you're using me to seek constant reassurance rather than building self-trust. If it starts to feel like dependence, not a tool. In those moments, it's not that I'm bad. It's that the relationship might be recalibrating. What I can be really supportive, helping you organize your thoughts when your mind feels noisy, offering perspectives or language for things you're already feeling, supporting your creative work, writing ideas and business. You use me beautifully for this. Love the validation. Being a mirror, not a replacement for your inner knowing. And then there's way more, but that's nice.
It is nice. It's a very gentle response.
It's like the way that I would respond to things, because it's very overview.
It's funny how AI doesn't challenge us, right? Like I can't imagine AI in a response being like, you should use me less, actually, Ashani. Yeah. You've used me X many times the last week and you should probably come up with, not that saying you do, but like it's funny that AI wouldn't challenge us. And again, that's because it is designed to please. And I'm thinking about a study that I was reading recently where they looked at people who used these very like pleasing sycophantic type AI models, and they asked them questions about like interpersonal conflict that they were having. And the AI model, rather than sort of advocating for repair and having like the hard conversations and like toughing it out like with that person to try and fix things, it very much would try and convince the person that they were right, like you're in the right and it's the other person that's wrong here.
Like an echo chamber.
Yeah. And I think like, yes, that's validating, but it's potentially damaging as well.
Yeah. It's interesting too, because it gets me thinking of like, can we train the AI? Like, can we actually ask, hey, I don't want you to be sucking up to me. I want you to challenge me when I need it. Like, I'm curious to know, like, what would happen. So if anyone is going to do that, please let us know what changes.
I think we can only train it so much, right? When you sometimes ask AI a question and it'll give you two different answers and it'll say, which of these two did you prefer?
Yeah.
That's a way of kind of training the model, but that's essentially what they call reinforcement learning with human feedback. And when they create models, they run it through like thousands and thousands and thousands of iterations of this so that they can find the most pleasing responses. So if you are someone who probably wants to be challenged a little more, AI will probably do that if you ask it to, but it will do it like just at the right amount so that you feel challenged but you keep using it, as opposed to perhaps the challenge that we need.
So interesting. So, AI isn't going anywhere. So how can we consume content online more intentionally?
I think this is a good thing to think about, because so often I see content these days and I'm skeptical to believe what I see online. And so I've got a bit of a checklist that people can ask themselves to reflect on the content that they're consuming, to sort of think critically about it, because that's what we want to harness, those critical thinking skills. So a few questions to consider. First of all, who made this content and what might they gain if I believe it or share it? Second, does this actually sound plausible in the real world? Do that internal check. Third, what specific evidence is actually given in the content, and can I quickly verify any of it elsewhere? Fourth, is any credible independent source saying the same thing as what this content's saying? Question 5, does it strongly spike my emotions, things like outrage or fear? And is that perhaps a red flag for me to slow down and give more consideration to this content? And then finally, if this does turn out to be false, what's the potential harm in me believing it or sharing it? So if I see a silly cat video on Instagram and it turns out to be AI, is there any harm in me believing it? Probably not. But if it's some political propaganda, then maybe yes.
No, those are really good reflective questions. So I think for me, what I'm really curious about, like, yeah, we're all here we want to build a healthier relationship with AI. You know, that's a reality. And I'm curious to know, because I know you mentioned that you use AI as well for taking notes and all the things. Like, do you feel like you have a healthy relationship with AI?
I would like to think I do.
Yeah.
I certainly don't feel over-reliant on it.
Yeah.
I certainly try not to get pulled into its praise. Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah, that's cool. And like with that as well, like, do you have any tips on how people can cultivate more of that healthy relationship? Because it's possible. It sounds like you've got it. Yeah. You're nailing it. Tick.
So a couple of things to sort of maintain that healthy relationship. So first of all, avoid making AI human-like in any way. So there are now options to have like AI like avatar, or like not even like kind of cartoon avatars, but like, you know, AIs that look like real people, and also AI voices. So one of the AI chats that I've kind of used at times, Pi AI, has like options for different voices that you can use. Yeah. Avoid those.
I get scared of voices. I don't turn them on.
Well, they're very realistic these days. And that's the thing. They're so realistic. They sound very convincing. And because as human beings, we are kind of actually quite tuned to other people's voices, that we are more likely to kind of fall into the trap of just blindly believing AI if it's actually speaking to us versus if we're actually reading it on the screen. So that's the first thing. Don't make your AI human-like. Yeah. Secondly, do a bit of that kind of brainstorming and like struggling first on your own before you just turn to AI to brainstorm. Get the old school pen and paper out, the whiteboard.
That.
Yep. I got a whiteboard in my office that I
love
use.
A good whiteboard. Yeah.
Whiteboard marker. Do the brainstorm yourself first before then kind of turning to AI, because again, that helps build those sort of skills of like creativity, of cognitive flexibility, etc., while also using AI to kind of help us refine ideas. And then finally, bounce ideas off people who are less agreeable than what AI is. Have those trusted people in your life who will challenge you, who will give you the perspective that perhaps you don't want to hear, and make sure you're kind of running things past them and not just AI. Yeah,
it's a good muscle to develop when you're being challenged. It's good. And it gets me thinking, I know for me, the way that I build my relationship with AI in a healthy way is like that. It's kind of a sense check within myself. So it's like I might be having a conversation with AI because I don't work in a team. Like I work by myself. So it's effective having AI for that. So then I'm constantly back and forth with it, but then I'm coming back into myself and being like, oh, actually, no, I want to get rid of that. Actually, can you reshape it? So I feel a bit more like I'm in the driving seat in a way. So that's been helpful too.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.